I'll be able to share the screen with you guys. Share. Perfect. Okay. Fantastic. Let's rock and roll. All right. So today's training is how to sell products and how to find customers. Okay, so first of all, before we get into the actual nitty-gritty of different ways of finding customers and selling products, first of all, before you even get to that, you need to get to know the products. First thing you want to do is go through the catalog, read it accurately for every single product, the compositions, the ingredients, what it does, etc., so that you know what these products do before you try and sell them to other people. Secondly, get to know the sales aids. Get to know what tools you have available, like sample kit, like catalogs, leaflets, brochures, etc. So again, find out all of the sales aids and how you can use them, all the different tools that you have available for you. Then it's the appearance. Now, again, you don't have to go and spend £5,000 on a Gucci suit or Armani suit, etc. However, you need to look presentable. If you're going to do a perfume party or a product party, or you're going to offices and businesses, etc., you need to look the part. So if you selling, the beauty products, perfume, cosmetics, etc., you need to look like it. You need to use your own products and show them out. Also preparation, make sure that you're prepared. They say it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not to have one than to have an opportunity and be unprepared for it. So I used to laugh about it. Whenever I used to recruit a woman into my team, I used to look at her handbag, and if it's not big enough for the full sample kit, I go, look, first thing you need to do is you need to go and get yourself a new handbag because it's not going to fit a sample kit, right? But jokes aside, you need to be prepared. You need to have your catalogs, you need to have your brochures with your stickers with your name and email and whatever. So this way, when the opportunity arises and you're chatting to somebody and it comes out, about your products, etc., you can give them a sample, you can give them a brochure or something, instead of going, oh, I haven't got anything on me, because that might be your next top customer or next top business partner, and you were not prepared for it. So make sure you always have something in your car, in your handbag, in your briefcase, etc. Teamwork. You can do all of what I'm going to show you. You can do all of these by yourself. However, if you do it as a team, again, it just works even better. So whether it's a perfume party or whatever, if you do it as as a couple or 3 or 4 people or whatever, it just works very often much better because you can bounce off each other and complement each other. So again, you can do a lot of these things as a teamwork, even with your upline or your team member, or even cross-line with somebody from completely different team. It doesn't really matter as long as you agree in advance, what's the arrangement, etc., in terms of the sales and profit sharing, etc. And of course, use your own products. So you have to use your own products and use them continuously. So you have your story. It'll be a lot easier to sell products when you have a story. When you go, well, when I started using this facial product, this is what happened. When I started using this NutriCode product, this is what happened to me. When I started using this perfume, this is what happened. And when you have these stories, you'll be then recommending and not selling because you're talking from your own experience. Okay, so where can we find these customers? Well, number one is family, friends, neighbors, and workmates. These are the people you already know. And they say for somebody to buy from you, they have to know you, they have to trust you, and they have to like you. So hopefully, family, friends, neighbors, and workmates, hopefully they know you, they trust you, and hopefully they like you, right? But it's a bigger chance that they do than a complete stranger. So that's why it's easiest to start with family, friends, neighbors, etc. And also, if you got access to really good quality products at a really, really low price, who would you like to save money first? If it was me, I would like to save money to my family first and to my friends, except to close people, not complete strangers. That's why I showed these products, first of all, to my family and friends and neighbors and workmates before I went, to show it to complete strangers, etc. Next is beauty salons and hairdressers. Again, beauty salons, hairdressers, and all the other establishments of similar nature are already in the beauty industry. So these guys are really, really good prospects to become your customers or even to become your team members. So you can go in a beauty salon with your sample kit, etc., and just ask them, hey, would you mind, briefly explain what it is all about, and then ask them, would you mind if I left the kit with you for a day or two, and then I'll come back tomorrow, pick it up. And if you have any orders, I'll deliver them, you know, in a couple of days. If you haven't, no problem. I'll just grab my kit and I take it to the next beauty salon. And that's what you can do. You know, when I used to work as a teaching assistant, I never had time to like go all day selling. So what I would do, as soon as I finished work at school, I'd go to the first beauty salon, leave the sample kit there, and then tell them that I'll come tomorrow. Then after work next day, I'd pop in a beauty salon, grab the kit, grab any orders if there's any. If there's no orders, no problem. Grab my kit, go to the next beauty salon, leave my kit again. So I would have what I used to call my traveling sample kits. And I would have 2 or 3 sample kits that were continuously traveling from one place to another place, etc., collecting orders for me and working for me instead of me having to go around, you know, looking for these customers. And some of these beauty salons and hairdressers used to order for themselves, and some even kept the kit on a continuous basis and actually collected orders from their customers. So it's a great way of introducing products within your local area. Then offices and businesses. Again, any business that has a reception area and a receptionist or a secretary sitting there, again, can be potentially become your customer or even a distribution point for you. You know, you can pop in there, have a chat, explain what you do, and ask them if they wouldn't mind if you left the kit for a day or 2, and then see what happens. They might order for themselves. They might start showing, you know, if you see that this secretary starts showing this kit to every single person in that establishment and she starts collecting orders, guess what? You are recruiting her because she's going to be a part of your team and you're going to give her the profit, you know. So it's a really, really great way of getting started. And it's similar like the book people, you know, they leave their books, etc. with the order form. You can leave your sample kit with an order form and people, you know, can come, place their orders, etc. Okay, next thing is charities, schools, nurseries, and churches. Again, all of these places, all of these establishments, they are always raising funds. They're always looking for ways to generate more money, right? So what we did a couple of times, we would go to a nursery where our daughter used to go, or we would go to a school where our daughter is going, and we say, hey, are you raising funds for any project at the moment? And they're always raising funds for some project, right? So we would go, look, would you mind if we came here, set up a table with our products and sold our products for a day to parents and teachers, etc. And once, you know, the day is finished, we will donate 33% all of our profit to the school so that you can use it for your projects or to buy toys for the kids or whatnot. Guess what the nursery would say? Yeah, of course. You know, so we would go there, we would do that. So number one, school is making money for nothing, right? They're getting free money. Number 2, parents and teachers, they're getting really good quality products at a very low price. Number 3, we getting all the points, and plus we gaining a load of new customers because all the orders that they're going to place afterwards, they're going to be our profit and our customers, right, forever. So it's a great way. You know, our team members done the same thing in a church. They went in their church and they sold, I don't remember, 400 or 500 pounds of products in one day. And again, donated all of the profit to the church, but they gained all of the points and all of the customers, you know, from that church. So it's a great way of introducing your products to new customers and, you know, contributing to a good cause. Product parties. Again, we used to call them perfume parties, but now we have cosmetics, we have NutriCode products, we have, you know, all of these products. So, you know, I'd call them product parties because you can do different types of products in a party. But basically, the whole idea is that this helps you to become more effective. Instead of presenting your products to one person, you invite a bunch of people to your house, you do a demonstration of the products, people sample the products, and they place their orders on the night. And this way you can do it in your own home or in other people's homes. So for example, if you're running a party at your house, you can say, hey guys, by the way, each of you have an opportunity to host your own party where you can invite your work colleagues, your friends, and your neighbors, and I will come and run the party at your house. And as a present for hosting a party, you'll get a bottle of perfume for free, or you'll get a bottle of wine for free, or you'll get a makeover for free, or whatever. You decide how to tease them into hosting a party. So that's called party from a party, you know. And if you run a party and you book 5 parties from that party, and then you do those 5 parties and you book 5 parties from each, you get the point. You start this chain of never-ending customers and never-ending parties. And I know business partners in UK here who don't sell products and don't recruit people in any other way. They just run parties. They do parties from parties from parties from parties, and that's all they do. And they do loads of sales, and they recruit a bunch of people along the way as well. Okay, next thing is gyms. Again, gyms have a lot of footfall. There's a lot of people going through a gym on a daily basis. So again, if you can go to a local gym, and agree with them, to allow you to have a table there with, again, your products, etc., and a sign of now recruiting, etc., you can get a lot of people interested in your products. You can hand out a bunch of samples, etc. Now, again, some gyms can do that for free. Some gyms will do that for a charge. So they might charge you 20 quid or 30 quid to have a stall there for a day. Other gyms might charge you, part of your profits, etc. So you just need to go have a chat with them and see, if they would allow you to come along. But again, it's a good place with a lot of people going through, and with that as well, supermarkets, they sometimes allow people to have a stall, in their supermarket, and again, sell the products. And any other big places, think, where do a lot of people go through on a daily basis, and could I have a stall there? Could I have a stand there for a day or half a day or a couple of hours, etc.? Then small shops. Now, again, you can't sell your products in supermarkets like Tesco's, Asda's, or Sainsbury's or whatever, because these are the big chain giants, etc. However, if you go to small, individually owned little shops within your area, again, they can be your customers, but they can also have a little, place to place a sample kit, and they can even become, your business partners, part of your team, etc. So that's, again, a good way to expand your customer base. Restaurants and coffee shops. Again, they have a lot of people going through, people usually who work in restaurants and coffee shops, they don't really make the biggest money out there. They're not on the top salaries. Usually they earn very, very little. So again, it's a great pool of prospects, who could become your customers or even your business partners. And even, if you're having a dinner in a restaurant, one of the cool tips to do, instead of leaving a tip of few quid, leave them a coupon for your products, for FM products, so that they would contact you later and say, hey, you left me this £5 off voucher, what it is all about, etc. So this gives you, a chance for them to purchase some products from you and get to know your products and your business, etc. Hospitals. Again, there's a lot of people going through hospitals, and a lot of times, different hospitals, they allow people to come to the staff break room and have a table with their products, So different types of business I've seen, people selling handbags, and I've seen people selling loads of different products in hospitals in the break rooms. So again, you can speak to people who are responsible for that within your local hospital and ask if you could come for a day, have a stall with your products, etc. We've done that before a couple of times. It's been really, really great experience, and a lot of, interest in products, and of course in business as well. Then fairs, markets, expos, etc. Again, these are made basically for you to have a stall there, etc. And there's loads of them. Now shop around. Some of them can be really expensive. Like some of them can charge you hundreds of pounds for a table for a day. You don't want to go there because, you're probably not going to sell that much products in a day. But there's local ones that sometimes, can give you a stall for free or for a fiver or for whatever. Those ones are really, really good, to go to, because again, you might not even sell that much on a day, but you can gain a lot of contacts. You can do some raffle and collect people's names and emails, etc., where you can now keep in touch with them and show them some products in the future, etc. Next is clubs, groups, etc. Basically hobby stuff, moms groups, etc. So again, research within your local area what sort of groups are happening, what sort of communities are building, what sort of hobby clubs are around, and try and join a few. Again, as long as they don't cost a fortune, etc. But basically, it's giving you access to different people that you wouldn't have met unless you went to this particular group or this particular club. So again, have a look around within your local area. Then community events. Again, have a look what's happening within your community. Pop into your local community center and look through the notice board. What is happening? What sort of events are happening? Go to your local church, and have a look on their notice board. What sort of events are happening? And join some of them. Go there, see something, meet new people. Most people, they sit at home and they wait for somebody to knock on their door and ask, do you have some more product, right? That doesn't always happen, so you need to get out there and start meeting people, start mingling with people, and this way you will definitely get some customers and even business partners. Anybody who knocks on your door, anybody who knows Irina Oliver, how she does it. Any person that knocks on her door, whether it's a DPD guy, whether it's a postman, whether it's a Betterware or Clean Easy or whatever, it doesn't matter. They are coming in for a cup of tea, and then, she shows them the product, she talks to them about the business. Before you know it, they are in her team, So again, anybody who knocks on your door, whether it's Jehovah's Witness or whatever, they shouldn't walk away without a sample, without a catalog, without a brochure or whatever. Don't miss that opportunity. If somebody came to your door, then they have to leave with something. Have a pile of brochures or leaflets or whatever next to your door, so that every time when somebody comes, offers you some double glazing or whatever, you go, hey, not really, we're good for double glazing, but here's a brochure in case you or your wife maybe is interested in earning an extra income, and let them have it. You never know. If you hand out stuff, you will get lucky, I promise you. Then flyers, brochures, etc. There's loads of brochures that FM UK office produces. People do their own stuff, for Vistaprint and stuff like that. But again, think, how can I get people interested? I remember I saw one on Stephen Bourne's website that really, really rocked me. It basically, it's small writing, but in big letters in the middle of the leaflet, it says, up yours. And then you go, what? But basically, it says in small letters, many people have upped their income with FM. Up yours now with FM Group, etc. But when somebody sees that leaflet, they go, what? And then they read it. You want to make sure you catch people's attention, etc. So these are just little ideas, etc. Then, of course, samples. We are so lucky in FM Day. We have the perfume samples, and we have some other makeup samples, etc. So use those samples. First of all, like I mentioned, your sample kit can be a traveling sample kit, but also, you can do market research. We used to have like a basket with loads of home products, and we would give it to our neighbors. We would say, hey, would you mind taking this for 3 days and testing these products out and giving us a review afterwards, and telling us how it went, or you can give somebody some NutriCode samples for a couple of days and say, hey, try this in a balance for the next 5 days and let me know how it goes. I'm doing some market research, etc. Basically, you just want people to give you reviews, etc., and also maybe become your customers at the same time. So really good. And even long distance, if you have some people, some friends, etc., who are long distance from you, you can call them up and go, hey, Susie, I've started this business. It's really working well for me here in Peterborough, but I don't know how it would work in Melbourne, Australia. What if I sent you a sample kit? Would you mind if I sent you a sample kit? I'm not trying to recruit you or sell you something. What if I sent you a sample kit? You could just take it to work and see if it would work in your area the way it works here in Peterborough, right? Now, Susie gets the sample kit. She takes it to work and gets 20 orders, right, in a week. She comes back, gives you a ring on Skype and goes, wow, 20 people ordered. And you can go, hey, look, great. So I can keep all the profit, or you can join my team and then you're going to get all of this profit for you. That's, by the way, that's £100. Guess what's going to happen? That person is joining your team, right? But all they did a bit of market research for you, right? They weren't intent to join the business, right? So even when they go to work with the samples, they go, look, I'm not selling this. I'm just doing a favor for my friend, etc., right? But it's a really easy way for them to test out the water within their local area, etc. Then surveys. Again, you can do different surveys, skin care survey, you can do a nutrition survey, you can do perfume survey or whatever. Different ways of doing surveys. You can do them at different establishments or just stand on a street and collect surveys from people. But basically asking people questions which will then lead into you showing them a product, right? You can say, well, are you suffering from acne? The person says yes. Guess what? Now you can offer them some products, right? Are you, interested in stopping the aging of your skin? If they go, yes, great. You can tell them about, the Gold Genesis. So basically you can create a survey that basically will lead them into answering. There's actually already created surveys like Lucy Clement. She created the one for the skincare, and it asks loads of questions like about cellulite, about different things that you can ask. You can give a person to fill in, and then according to their answers, you can offer them certain products. Then, of course, social media. Social media is getting better, and it's only going to get bigger. So you can, again, find customers on social media by approaching people individually and having a chat with them, by using groups and advertising your products on groups, or creating a page, with different, and advertising your products through a page and inviting a bunch of people to like your page, etc. So again, there's loads of ways of advertising your products through social media, and even FM does a lot of offers and different cool pictures on the official site on Facebook. All you need to do is basically copy those pictures, post them, and add your advertising thing. And now with the online shop, all you need to do is just grab the link for that product from your online shop, stick it underneath that so that person can straight away click on it, go and buy this product from your online shop. Then referrals. Once somebody bought some products from you, make sure you ask them for referrals. Go, hey, Susie, so who else do you know who loves makeup? Who else do you know who might want to lose weight? Who else do you know who would like to save 70% on their perfumes? And get a couple of names from them. Would you mind if I asked you to recommend you 3 people? Who would you know? Who's from your work might be interested? Who's from your local community who might be interested? And get some recommendations from people. Then, of course, you can do some email marketing. If you have access to an email list, again, you can send out. I know one of my team members, she had in her workplace, they had a group email for the whole workplace. And she just basically sent an email for the whole workplace saying, hey guys, I started this part-time thing where I'm selling some perfumes, etc. And she just sent a description of what she does to the whole of her workplace. Within the first week, she sold 30 bottles of perfume, because everybody just, oh, I'm interested in saving money on perfumes and stuff, so they just went to her and purchased here. So if you have access to email list, send it to people, right? Video demos, you can do video demos, of putting makeup on or doing, drain cleaner experiment or whatever, right? I mean, you can do loads of video demos and then stick them on Facebook or stick them on YouTube. And again, this way get people to contact you later asking for those products, etc. Celebrations and occasions. Again, don't miss out, on Valentine's Day, Christmas, Easter, Hanukkah, whatever it's going to be, just check, there's these calendars that tell you what day it is, it's a friend's day, it's a whatever's day, right? And use those celebrations to promote your products, so if it's a lipstick day, stick a lipstick on Facebook, if it's whatever day, stick that, and use those occasions because that will grab people's attention. And usually those occasions are trending on Facebook or on other social medias. So when you're posting on that day some stuff with those with those words, usually your post will get pushed up because they are trending on that day. Do a loyalty card for your customers, so order 5 bottles and the 6th one you get for free. So this way, these people are going to be coming back to you instead of going to the shop next time they need something. So do a loyalty card. Angels, we used to call them fragrance angels, but again, now we have loads of products. Basically, these are people who are under 16 or who can't join the business yet, but you can lend them a sample kit and say, hey, take it to school, see if somebody would like to order, and I'll give you 20% profit, or I'll give you all the profit. Doesn't really matter, choose whatever. But basically this way, you're getting people who wouldn't be able to join the business, you're giving them some samples, you're giving them some brochures, and they can take it to school, take it to their community, etc., show to people, show it to their parents, and bring back some orders to you. Before and after pictures, again, really cool stuff. You can use it on Facebook and on a bunch of other social media like Instagram, etc. Do a before and after, whether it's slimming products, whether it's makeup products, whether it's whatever, do a before and after pictures and show them, because they are like a proof. People like that sort of stuff when they see, wow, it works. In-home demonstrations. Again, you can do loads of different in-home demonstrations. One I like is home products in-home demonstration, because I can go into somebody's house and show, how the descaler works on the kettle, show how the lime scaler and rust remover works on the sink, show how the screen cleaner works on the television, etc. So basically in front of their eyes, I can do loads of demonstrations, and people order loads of products when you do that, because they see the products in action, how they actually work, etc. And easy to do as well. And database. One of the biggest mistakes I did when I first started, I never used to collect the details of my customers. So somebody buys a product, I delivered it, give them my business card, hoping that they will call me. And guess what? Most people will never call you. They forget about it. So you need to start a database. As soon as you start selling products, start collecting emails, start collecting phone numbers, start adding these people to a Facebook group, etc., so that you can keep advertising different offers, different promotions, etc. And this way, these people will keep coming back time and time again to you and keep buying these products. Let them try before they buy. They say if you put a perfume on a person's hand, the chances of them buying it increases 50%, because when you're explaining, it's logic. When they smell it, it's emotion. So you want to make sure you give them to try products, whether it would be perfume or cosmetics or food supplements, etc. Give them a sample. Let them try it before they buy. They will buy a lot more. And then finally, convert your customers into business partners, because a good customer, it's a fantastic team member, because they're already in love with the products. They're already convinced of the quality because they've been buying it for a while. So you're already halfway there. You just now need to say, hey, Susie, let's meet up for a cup of coffee. I've got something really important I want to show you. And you meet up with that person. You go, hey, look, we spoke, you've been using the product for a while. I wanted to show you now what it could do financially for you and your family. Let me show you how this could really, really benefit you, and then show them how this could really, really, what this could do financially for them, etc. And, they will go for it. They will definitely, purchase the products, etc. So this is really the sales training.